Welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel, everyone. This is Rich making another video on XRP today as usual. So wherever you are in the vast universe, I hope you're all enjoying your Saturday. We're going to discuss XRP, and Mr. Man gave me this to begin with. I was discussing the World Bank, the IMF, and the US Treasury the other day. This is the IMF talking about the financial system's tokenization. Listen to it. Thank you very much for those opening remarks, Kristalina. The tokenization of the financial system and, of course, the presence of the International Monetary Fund here are the panel's topics. We are referring to the global financial system here, and Korstens from the BIS is seated there with him. Additionally, XRP and RippleNet are incorporated into every project that the BIS releases. The foundation of it is RippleNet technology. Additionally, Stellar and Ripple are the primary participants in the financial system's tokenization. One member of the high-level advisory committee is Chris Larsen. Since 2018, Ripple and the IMF have met multiple times. XRP and XLM were even referred to as steady coins changing value by the IMF. To put it another way, they won't be compensated in US dollars. They will be steady, high-value coins that move in value every day all around the world. The World Bank is also shown here. For cross-border payments, liquidity provision, and interoperability between CBDC stablecoins and other digital assets that have XRP written all over them, they claim they need a quick, affordable bridge currency. They never explicitly say, hey, we're going to use XRP, you know. They don't ever call it that. Rather, they inform you of their needs, and those needs are a wonderful description of XRP. As you are already aware, the plan was developed a long time ago, but the finished result is almost here. Since we are now very close, it is why they are discussing this openly in the news media. The banks are in. Listen to this out. Some U.S. cryptocurrency council has been retracted by Squawk Box morning up banking regulators. This is intriguing, folks, as the Fed announced that it was rescinding supervisory letters that advised banks to obtain prior authorization from regulators before participating in stablecoin and cryptocurrency operations. Additionally, during the 2024 campaign, the Fed, FDIC, and Office of the Controllers of the Currency withdrew remarks from 2023 that advised banks to exercise caution when it came to crypto-related risks. In a statement detailing the most recent revisions, President Trump assured cryptocurrency investors that he would support them if he was re-elected. The Fed stated that authorities would investigate the appropriateness of new recommendations to encourage the development of crypto assets. You'll notice, though, that whenever the mainstream media discusses cryptocurrency, they treat it as if it were a recent development. To put it another way, cryptocurrency hasn't existed for all these years. They talk about cryptocurrency as if it shouldn't even exist since they are so accustomed to talking about Bitcoin alone. I detest that aspect of news from the mainstream media. And all they ever want to discuss is Bitcoin. However, those discussions will soon come to a stop as XRP will gradually gain more attention. Hoskinson affirms that Cardano's LAC wallet integrates XRP. When LAC first appeared on the Cardano mainnet in April 2023, it was a sophisticated and safe wallet for Cardano native tokens, mainly supporting a DA and other Cardano blockchain-based assets. Hoskinson, however, has described how LACE will develop further to become a genuinely multi-chain wallet. He said that XRP support is in the works, which is a big move in that direction. Through the LACA interface, users of the XRP ledger will be able to hold, send, and receive XRP thanks to this new feature. Although Hoskinson did not specify when this capability would be launched, the news itself attests to the fact that work is under progress and that Cardano and Ripple are becoming closer. As you may recall, Hoskinson used to be quite critical of XRP and Ripple. He angered many members of the XRP community. However, I genuinely appreciate that Cardano and Ripple are joining forces. The fact that they are constructing things together appeals to me. The same is true of Hedera and Ripple joining forces with Cardano, since they are all ISO cryptocurrencies. I like this. In other words, they will all be collaborating within the new financial system and are all ISO certified. However, I'm happy with the direction this is taking, and listen to Monica Long discuss the acquisition of Hidden Road. I will now warn you that this clip has terrible sound quality. Listen to it. Significant, yes. And you paid for the purchase, as was previously described for Hidden Road. I believe that cost you $1.25 billion. Indeed. Does that mean that Ripple will now be more acquisitive in the future? Indeed. Excellent. Therefore, more M&A is likely to occur. Indeed. There will undoubtedly be more amazing things. This is a huge deal, really. In other words, I won. 25 billion marks is among the biggest in the history of cryptocurrency. As a cryptocurrency company, we are unique in that we own a prime broker that is not a bank. Yes, the Hidden Road. I'm just really confident that we can do more with blockchain tech infrastructure at this point, thanks to a close under one roof partnership with a company that serves hundreds of the highest volume trading financial institutions. And they do 3 trillion a year. Their revenue is very strong at over $100 million. And they can now use our balance sheet to obtain more risk capital, which will allow them to expand their business at an exponential rate. And even if it may not be relevant to the market right now, I must question you about an initial public offering, IPO, eventually. Brad has previously told me that we can begin considering an IPO after the SAC difficulties are resolved. Will there be a report anytime soon? We have a lot of liquidity right now. Therefore, the balance sheet does show billions of dollars in cash. We're in a very good place. As you stated, we are in an acquisitive situation. Therefore, our main goal is to grow the company. She thus supports Brad's assertion that there won't be an IPO until 2025. She is quite optimistic about Hidden Road, but I believe that will happen later. I am too. Did you pay attention to? They now have billions in cash, she said. Do you recall when Ripple only had $1 billion in cash? They appear to have a lot more now. Liquidity, and I'm eager to follow its development further. $3 trillion a year, and they intend to continue to grow and develop. Smoke is the source of this. Indeed, the acquisition of Hidden Road by Ripple will increase the dissemination of RLUSD and the uptake of the XRP ledger, putting it in a position to eventually overtake Circle and Tether as the most popular stablecoin. There are both short-term and long-term options for Ripple. It is documented that RLUSD will use XRP to help enhance liquidity. XRP and RLUSD will work well together. The price of XRP will rise as a result, which will be advantageous to us as XRP investors. Many individuals are currently discussing this, the $1 trillion resurgence of Amazon, why it's possible that XRP will follow